creature comforts when we're cold. A cocoon to curling cuddle folds. When the creatures cover up our shoulders, enveloped, we almost forget to breathe. Stones laying flower beds, you arranged and rearranged them to fit. With creative fingers green, like the perfect mother I'd ever seen. Creature comforts when we're cold. A cocoon to curling cuddle folds. And when the creatures cover up our shoulders, enveloped, we almost forget to breathe.
Good morning to the viewers from sunny Gibraltar. We are just getting started with the first semi-final in the championship division between Elias Kritikos and Nodar, Gagua. So very exciting setup here. Right now I'm alone as the commentary, so I might not be talking all the time like when Garda's here, but I'll try to do my best to guide you through the match. I'm here for at least an hour or so, and then hopefully there will be somebody else coming in afterwards, or also the coming hour. We got started with a 2-1 from Nodar, and he got double hit by... Yeah, there was a double hit by Elias, so that's why we already have like 4 checkers back. 4 of Nodar's checkers back. We have it's a 19-point match they are playing today, so we have a few hours of entertainment in front of us, hopefully. It's a very strong setup. Elias is a very strong Norwegian player who has been doing really well lately. He did, I think he lost the final last year in Nordic Open. And Nodar as well, also doing really well. Strong player from Georgia, true gentleman. So this will be a great setup. We see that Elias has gotten a high anchor, and I think it's. I just have to look at the clock to see who's on roll. I didn't see who rolled, but it's Nodar that's on roll right now. He has 6-2 to move, not the best roll. He would like to anchor up on the 18 point, but then he doesn't have any good sixes. So the idea is maybe to. He could run all the way from the 18 point to 10. Or what other options do we have here? He could hit on the 3 point. I don't think that looks right. It's good to have the 11 point in this position when he has a high angle. I like this move. If he has to hit Elias, then he would have to hit from an angle, which he's not, of course, that happy about. But this is the other option, I think. Alternatively, he could play 2 out in the outfield. (6-3). I think you need to make the 11 point like that. Good play. So hit and then play to 11, then you have some checkers in the zone trying to build the board. Right now Elias hasn't developed his position very much. Five, 3. He obviously wants to hit here, but then he doesn't have any good 5s. So he could consider slotting the ace. Yeah, I guess that's the best move. Doesn't look nice, but sometimes you just have to choose the best of the worst, so to say. So we're starting out with a bit of a hitting contest here. Could be a long game. Elias has now 2 anchors in Nodar's homeboard, and he hasn't developed much on his own side yet. So this could carry on for some time. Kind of missed what he moved so far. He didn't move anything. Oh, he moved 3. Okay. 2-6 hit and then play to 8. Or you could step out. I mean, he has a stripped 13 points, so it might not be that bad jumping out. I think Nodar is now in. Elias is now in kind of a. It's not a real back game yet, but it's like a holding game. So he can freely slot, like he did, freely slot his 5 point. It doesn't matter that much if he gets hit because he's way behind in the race. So it doesn't matter if he gets a few more checkers sent around. He kind of wants the blood he has on the ace point to get hit because it doesn't do anything good for his position. We have 5-2. I think you just go all the way. Or you could consider hitting and then maybe get some of those checkers sent around again. It's a bit complex, the first game they're playing. I hope they're fresh in their mind, because it's always hard to play these type of games because there are so many options. Yeah, and then probably step up to 14 point. That's a good play. Yeah, that plays itself down to 7. I'm not sure if it's right to hit. I mean, it could be, but I mean, he gives him timing by hitting, obviously, but it's not a real back game he has. It's a very high back game, at least, with a 5 and 3 point anchors, but it could create some issues for Nodar to play in against those 2 points. Right now he just wants to carry those 3 checkers around and then see if he can clear some of the back points. Elias needs to try to build some board. He's trying to. It looks like he's trying to get more checkers sent around by leaving blots. And Nodar, he voluntarily hits everything he can. Yeah, I like that play. It's good to play the checkers up so you keep them alive, basically, because you want to escape them soon. So you don't want too many checkers hanging on the 3 point in Nodar's board. I think it's a good play by Elias. Now you run with 1 checker. And then the question is if you step up with the last one. I think you want to keep that man on the ace point in Nodar sport because it's kind of a soldier. I mean, it can, create some more chances to get a shot later on. Yeah, he could play this one all the way. He doesn't care about getting hit, basically. He could also go down and hit on ace point and then try to recirculate that checker. I'm not sure what the right move is here, to be honest. It's a bit difficult. I think that looks good. You don't need. I don't think you need to hit the timing. I mean, it's not a real backgammon as mentioned earlier, but he has pretty good timing to get those shots later on. So I think it's fine just to slot it without hitting. Yes, all the way. He has pretty good flexibility now, Nodar. So maybe he can make his deuce point next time. That was a bit awkward roll there. Yeah, I think it's good. You want to get that checker away from the ace point because it can create some issues later on. So I think it's a good hit there. And you kind of also want to maybe get hit back and recirculate your checker. So, but Elias is not running out of timing, but it could get a bit critical if he doesn't get that last checker stepped up to the 20 point. I think he might have to do that now because otherwise he could run out of timing. I think that's the right move. That goes all the way. The checker on the 8 point is blocked. And out, yes. Nodar is maybe considering cubing. I think it's still a bit too early. You want to clear. You want to have no more than 3 points behind those two angles before you cube normally. Here he has awkward aces, and not all aces obviously, but if he cubes here, then it must be pretty easy take because it's not easy to clear that 8 point against those two angles. He's ready for the first picture of the day, Nodar. I'm not sure. I don't have any XG feed in here, so I don't know what the right decision is in this position. But personally, I would probably wait cubing until I have cleared my 8 point. I think you have. I mean, there are a lot of shot options in that position. It must be an easy take at least. I think you can just slot the 3 point. It's not really anything leaving a shot next time, so you want to build the points in the right order, which is now the 3 point is the next. You obviously will have 2 blots in your. This could also be that actually looks better. I kind of like that as well. 6-1. Good roll by Elias. Wow. Yeah, okay, you can still play it, but it gets more and more awkward. Just make the ace point, yes. So now Elias is ready for the shot, and he will have it right there. And he is considering if he should recube already now. He has 20 numbers hitting, obviously, but it's not only the 20 numbers, it's also the, the next roll, the next sequence. There will be more options to get a hit. So I think Nodar, he will probably face a cube if he doesn't enter. Wow, he enters with a 2-5. Amazing roll. He escapes and into an indirectly shot only, so that's an amazing roll. And Elias is considering cubing. Or he's just trying to maybe get his head around what will happen in the next few sequences. It's a bit awkward bearing for Nodar from now on. But we got off to a good start here. More exciting game than we had yesterday, where it was a bit, one-way rolling. But I think the players yesterday did really good, played really well. And I think we will have some good matches today as well. That's right. Yeah. We will just get some scores on the board so you can see that at home as well. There's another hit, and then make some flexibility in the home board. Yes. And we have a fan. I think he will look at the 4 cube now. Yeah, and that's a pass. Oh, they have the score. It's just out of the picture. Okay, so we have a 2-0 lead for Elias. Very interesting first game. Lots of difficult decisions because it's very hard to play those kind of games where you have like a double anchors, and it's hard to play for Nodar Gagua also. He has to play in against it. And should you try to, recircle your checkers, or what's the plan? So, but I think they did pretty good. Right now there's a lot of action in the room. We have the consolation is continuing. I'm not sure how far they are, probably among the last 8 or 16. And we have the super jackpot, we have ordinary jackpots, we have the speed tournament starts here at 12 o'clock. So quite a lot of action. People are up early this morning compared to yesterday. So good start here from Elias again. Great double 4 where you can do something really constructive on both sides. I like this move. Put some pressure on the 2 back checkers. He could also consider, of course, going all the way. I'm not sure exactly what the race is. I would have to count that. I think he's up like 29 pips actually. So that kind of favors that move over the other one. Let's see if I count it correctly. I'll just count again. 26 or something like that. I think he needs to step up with the 3 now, Nodar. But 2-0, and he's up like 15 pips. So it's probably close to a cube. The thing is, he's a bit stripped on the 7 and 8 points, so it's not as effective as it looks. Good reply by Nodar here. He hits back. Good reply again here. So now he would have to count the race again, Elias. Just see. I think it must be pretty even now since he got hit. So maybe he's even a little behind. I will just count it again. I think he's up 10 pips, Elias. If he's up 10 pips, it's a cube. He has a decent way to escape his 3 checkers on the 16 point. He has some good time, but he also has caught one of the Nodar's checkers on the ace point, so he can semi-freely play 2 checkers down from the 13 point, so he puts a little more pressure on the 4 point. So I think it's a really good cube, this one. And Nodar, he takes it. It's probably also fine if I counted the race right. Step up with the 3, yes. You want to try to escape that checker. I mean, it's not much he's behind in the race. Elias rolled 4-1 and 6-3 for Nodar. If I count it right, he was 10 up before, then he's up only by 5 now. So I think this is the right move if the race is correct. It's actually up. I think he's up by 4 actually, so I must have counted wrong. So this is a bit tricky. He's up. He would be up like maybe a handful of pips after this move, Elias, so he kind of wants to keep that checker. But it's also a lot of blots he has out there now. He escapes a hit there. So now he's back in contention. He gains some pips and he has a good possibility to make the 4 point now. So this could be a bit dangerous for Nodar. 3-1, not the most constructive roll. You can lift the 7 point obviously. You can also play this one. That's not too bad actually. You could also make a creative shift with the 5 point. I don't think that is right though. I think I would stay back here. It's just you put too much pressure if you step up on the 4 point. So I think it's a good move to play like that. You just play 2. You play from 10 to 7 and from 11 to 5. And then hope he doesn't roll a 6. Then you have plenty of ammunition to attack. Go. Great point to make. Wow. Amazing roll. Now he's a bit in gammon danger now, Nodar. If he closes him out, I'm not sure exactly how many percentage we will have of gammon, but maybe like 15 or something. So here it's either 2 down or a hit. Of course you risk a little by hitting. You win a little more gammons. So you have to kind of consider, is it worth the risk? By not hitting, you play 2 down, you give him 4 shots. You give him 6-5 and 6-4 and 6-6 also to escape. So it could all come down to how much is he up in the race here. 20, 25 pips or something. So I like the little more passive move like this one. 6-1, 6-3 obviously hurts. 6-6. And he's it's probably like a 50-50. But I think it's the right move here. Wow, he rolls it. So now this one could swing around easily if he doesn't get in now. Wow. 1-2. Nice joker. That's the kind of numbers you should roll when you are playing a semi-final. Oh. So now he has a little troubles with the checker. He has on Nodar's ace point. He needs a 6 or 2-4 to 5 to escape it. I think you wanna. What can you play here? You wanna play 1-2. I think maybe play from 3 to 1 here. Then you can play like 2-3 if you step up next roll. You for sure want to keep your board. I think that's the right move. And that's a 6. Oh, wow. I found the worst. It's not necessarily that he will lose it because of that, but it gave Nodar some good chances if he can enter on a 5, not even necessarily with a hit, but if he comes in on the 5 or 6 point. He needs to, I guess he needs to step in on 6 and slot the ace here. And then hope there will be some small numbers coming out of the cup, so he gets an option to hit. He needs an ace now. No ace. So this looks like 2 more points for Elias. There's not much gammon in this one, so it should be 2 points. Yes. He resigns. So it's 4-0 for Elias. It was another good game. They're playing really well, both players, I think. So it's been an exciting match so far. $6-5 for Nodar to start with, easy run of course, and then double 3 for Elias. I think normally when you have when you are running with one checker, I would play on both sides. So I would probably make 10 and 21, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not so good with the opening rolls, to be honest. I haven't studied them that much. It's more like routine, but yeah, I like to make the. Wow, okay, he makes a double 6 now, so now has a solid position again. Oh, and that's an awkward double 6 for Nodar. So maybe he could already consider cubing here. So he rolled double 3, double 6, that's 36 pip. So he has 36 pip, and Nodar rolled 35 pips, I guess, so far. So it's only like 1 pip difference, but Nodar's position is extremely ugly. He already has 3 checkers on the deuce point. Elias has, the option to make 4 point, 2 point, to play checkers down, to run from behind with like double 4. I think this is a good cube. And it's not really something you like to take because your position is so awkward. His 6s, they play themselves basically. He has to play them from 13 point. So he might not get any constructive rolls that creates any points on the board. He takes it. could be a take because of the score. I'm not so crazy about it. Maybe it's because of the look of his own inner board. It doesn't look very good, and it can be hard for him to develop it from here. Elias's position is much more constructive, and he has a better possibility to develop it to an even better position. Maybe step up with the ace to the 23 point and put a little pressure on that blood out there in case he makes the... Okay, he doesn't. He should probably make the 8 point here. Another one to the 6 point. Yeah, I would have considered moving it to the 10 point to get one more builder. So now you can make the deuce point. What are the options is to... I don't think there are any other options, to be honest. Ouch. He rolled the joker from the bar. And Elias enters. So Nodar is back in the game. He was a lot under pressure. He still has a lot of work to do, obviously, but it looks much better than it did one roll ago. And how do you play the deuce from here? What is the raise? I think Nodar is up like 16 pips. So 16 pips. His double rolls are, of course, really good. But he could have some issues clearing that 13 point. I kind of like the cube when you're down 4-0. I mean, double 2, double 3, double 4, double 5, double ace. Really good numbers. And Elias also has to move the back checkers eventually. So I like the cube. You're also trading 4-0. It's not exactly the numbers he wanted. Now he can leave a shot already in the next roll. It's that went a bit too fast for him. That's a good roll. Yeah, so he has to run from there. And then there's still bad numbers, obviously. Okay, that's fixed. Now Elias is... He has a hole, of course, on the 5 point Nodar. That can be a bit costly in the length. But he will have a few checkers off before Elias gets his checkers around. So he is in contention, but it's not impossible to win this race for Elias. Oh. And this obviously helps. Nodar has 5 checkers off. And there's Mr. Cardomatic. I missed him. So can we switch on another microphone? The green. Oh, they're not too. Yeah. So we have an exciting match here, and move.
Yeah. Of course, should be in the shot. So weird.
Wow, he's back, Elias. He managed to race this. He was way behind in the race.
I'm like looking at the camera, so if you go a little this way, You
What's
need
up?
to go a little bit
Oh.
more that way.
Yeah.
Wait, here, you move over. No, I can see from here. See? So now we're kind of centered, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh, he
Hey,
was-
okay.
This was an exciting
four
game.
cube.
Yeah, it's a 4 cube. Nodar, he cubed to 4. He's down 4-0. He cubed to 4 when he was going to play his 13 point. He managed to clear it with 4 checkers from there, so it actually looked like he would win this easily. But then Elias, he rolled a double 6 before, and when you came in, he must have rolled something else that was good, because suddenly the position looks way better. I think maybe he has rolled another double 6.
Yeah, so I mean, 9 checkers,
possibly.
but no gapping,
Yeah.
probably. So
But I mean, it's dangerous to send a 8 cube over when you are ahead 4-0, so that's obviously something he has to take into consideration.
right, but what if he rolls a 3 or even the 2 or the 1 right now? Nodar doesn't roll the miraculous, non-missing.
Yeah. Oh, then
That
you have
stops
to,
the
yeah,
cube.
it stops the cube. You have to wait, because now you have the. Yeah, okay, he has an odd number of checkers, obviously.
Yeah, but all it takes is a 3 here, and I think you've got to consider it.
Yeah,
There we
yeah.
are. So now they both have an odd number, and even if he rolls complete crap, 2-1. Yep, here's the 8 cube.
Yeah. And how much does he have in this position? I mean, Elias has a clear 3 roll.
Right, yeah, there's even the 2-1.
Yeah.
Usually the worst number.
Yeah.
Oh, he's passing.
Yeah.
We get to see their faces like you do at home, and the look on Nodar's face is just ugh.
Yeah.
And that's a break
break.
time.
Welcome to you, Carla.
Thanks for having me. I just got out of the shower. It was a long night, so
Did you play shirt all night?
no. Ended up drinking with your fellow countrymen. So
Drunken Danes.
yes, the drunken Danes. So I love them, but they do abuse my liver. So yeah.
Well, but at least you had a good time, I
I
imagine.
had a very good time, and
Yeah.
it's always nice hanging out with Sabrina and Karina and Nicolas and
Well,
you are.
I went to bed.
Right, Martin Jensen, Lutz, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah,
So,
I saw some late postings on Facebook, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so I imagine it was a bit late.
yeah, it got a bit late, and then, but this is how the tournaments are when you're out.
Yeah.
And now you're just like literally just having fun.
Yeah, then it turns into more like a social event than,
Yeah.
playing gammon. I normally, when I'm out of the tournament, I don't really play that much afterwards. I never play like jackpots or anything. Very rarely, at least. So it's more, getting social and hanging out with
Getting to
people.
see people you don't get to see. Like
Yeah.
it's funny when they were doing the tours of Gibraltar. We did the tunnel tours.
Yeah,
It was so amazing, but they tried to put me with the Americans, and I'm like, I see these guys all the time. Can I go with my Danes? Like, can I,
it was actually an amazing tour, by the way.
Yeah.
It was really good. Yeah,
Did you were on the same?
the same group. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was just, that British officer was so knowledgeable
Mm.
about everything.
Yeah.
And you're just, and you could tell he wanted us to stay longer because we had so many stories.
Yeah,
I
he
hope
just
next time we get to get more of those because
Yeah.
it was insane. So,
Yeah, he enjoyed it a lot. You could tell that he was like, he had a passion about it.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
so-
is, you're defending an island, and literally, you were beset on all sides by enemies in World War II.
Hmm.
And, to be able to still hold that piece of land
Yeah.
when, you had Nazis on one side,
Yeah. Hmm.
and the Spanish who were not sympathetic at all on the other side. You've got you had some problems.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I enjoyed the tour as well. So, and yesterday we were shown a picture from one of the guys here from the castle where they had like a big backgammon board on the castle downtown.
It
That was
crazy.
amazing.
The
Yeah.
two, they had big laser projectors that are shooting, backgammon. You can't
Two.
give enough. Yeah, you can't give enough credit to a country that loves your game so much.
No.
Like the prime minister has come. We've had. When we have the prize giving, we're having it in the caves, right?
I think this year we're having it here actually,
Okay.
as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's just. This is just an amazing city, and if you
Yeah.
get a chance to see it, you definitely should take a chance to see it because there's great food. There's the people have been super social, super welcoming. Last year we had that the reception in that guy's restaurant.
Yeah, and we have, you can go to the top of the rock where you can see the monkeys, or the apes, I think they call it on the signs.
And the apes, by the way, if you think like, oh, monkeys like bananas, they love them, and they attacked one of the buses because people thought they were cute and just were trying to taunt the monkeys, and these monkeys were ready to rip their faces off for the, they're friendly monkeys, but I'm just saying they're still powerful primates, so
they are, yeah.
Don't mess with their food.
As soon as they see you have a backpack on your back, then they know there's food in it. So they will, when you turn your face away, they are on the back of you.
Oh, and they're stealing stuff too. Yeah, they're. If you don't watch your cell phone, all of a sudden, you got a monkey that's on Craigslist with your unlocked iPhone 7.
I had one on my shoulder yesterday. When we went to the top, Martin, he was taking a picture of me, and I was standing, I just was standing close to them. I thought they were not, paying any attention. And then suddenly one of them jumped on my shoulder and jumped off again.
Oh, that's cool. Did he get the shot on your shoulder?
No, unfortunately not.
That's
the shots
part.
On both sides.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, they were cute. I mean, there was some, I don't know what you call them when they're small monkeys, but that were playing around, and it looked like they were fighting, but I think they were just having fun. So
they're wrestling.
So really it was good fun to watch. So.
All right, I'm gonna figure out what's going on with Speed Gammon. Are you in Speed Gammon?
I'm in Speed Gammon as well. So I told Steen that you need to bring in someone at 12 o'clock.
Yes, we will be.
We will be here for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, if they hopefully will come back soon, we will still be around. So
yeah. But there are a lot of players in the room, we can see.
Yeah, everyone wants to play Speed Gammon or something else. This is the last possible chance of making any money, of redeeming your trip. So there's jackpots. And do you see that also there's a 2,000 added to the person who wins the most jackpots?
1,000.
Oh, 1,000?
Yeah,
1,000?
2,000 for Speed.
Oh, yeah, 2,000 for Speed and 1,000. But just how incredible is that you've got 1,000? So it's encouraging people to put, you're putting 20 euros in a jackpot or 50 euros in a jackpot,
and you get
50 pounds.
Yeah.
And then you can possibly
1,000.
get an extra 1,000 on top of the prize for winning just the 8-player knockout.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing. It's really good. So, do you know what the score is in the other match out there? Mark on 4. Mark leads 4-3.
4-3.
And just mentioning Mark. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just in extension of yesterday's match, I was told that we were maybe a little, what can you say, on Rune's side when we were talking. If people found it like that, then it was definitely not deliberate. I think you have a tendency to sympathize for the guy that's behind in a match, and he was trailing all the match. But they both did a really good job, played really well. The the Belgian guy, Mark, he's a really, really strong player. And I talked to Michel Lamotte. He says he's the highest ranked player in Belgium. So he's a really, really strong player. He played really well as well yesterday. But for us, maybe it was a bit too.
I think we want the action.
Yeah, we wanted the action.
And it was just such a beating that you kind of want that to catch up. But also, I think you have the. I mean, there are people definitely I will root for, and I won't be shy. Austin Bredel was in the finals against Thomas Müller, who I really like. But I mean, Bredel's like my brother, so I can't not root.
No.
In this particular match, I like both the competitors.
Yeah, me too. Really nice guys both.
So. Elias and Nodar are just two of the nicest guys against the board.
True gentlemen, both of them. So there will be no disputes at all in this match. They will just behave, which most players obviously does. But it's a great setup.
There are those that don't.
He's off to a really good start, Elias.
Yeah, well, they've both got a nice prime versus prime. That 6-5, but it's always nice to elite, but that's not happening.
But it's been the first few games. The first game they played was like he had like a back game, Elias, where he had like a 3 and 5 point. So it was very interesting. He got cubed when Nodar he was missing just to clear the 8 point, and he eventually left a shot on the 8 point, got hit, and then he faced the 4 cube. So it was a good game.
Wow. So 4-3. why does this seem backwards? Like I'm looking, and the clock looks like it's going.
It's going on. It's Elias' side.
Yeah.
I like I'm not sure about the 3. I don't think you actually split your backman because you don't want to activate that big stack.
Right.
So I think the move we looked at is actually pretty good. Or maybe that 3 is better because you leave less shots.
Right. You can't. I mean, you don't want to give the 9s, 8s, and 7s.
No.
I mean, that's almost as much as a direct shot.
But I could play both. I mean.
Yeah.
Splitting.
And even if you get hit there, maybe you roll the 4-5, the 3-4, the 3-2, where you actually get some added. You know, you get a high anchor, which is, you know, this rates for a double hit.
Yeah, that's a double hit.
You know, you hate to go to the ace, but you just don't want him anchoring correctly.
Exactly.
So, and right now, Nodar's got to also gamble it up a little. Well, this looks like.
He also had last game he rolled awkward double 6s. He ended up with after a couple of rolls he ended up with 3 checkers on the deuce point because they both rolled double 6s.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, this is interesting. I mean, you want to anchor, but the hit is just sending another guy back. It seems really.
But I think you need to anchor here. You're up 8-0. There's no need to
Right, to
force the volatility in the games. You just want to play it a bit safe. I think it's the right move here.
I think so too. Yep.
And he does get the ace shot anyway.
Yes, still gets.
But he also has two checkers caught, so it's not like a desperate thing to hit the last one.
Right.
And he has to respect that he's up against the 3-point board.
Right, and now look at this. I mean, you've got so many numbers that make the 4 and 3 and 2.
Yeah.
You can leap out with 2. You've got, there's no danger except a double 4.
Yeah.
To get hit. So.
So what's the race?
Nodar's texting his friend right now saying, "Can you believe how bad this is going for me?" Yeah, his double 6 plays a lot better. So I feel like we're going to see a cube unless he gets a high anchor. 3. And the 5 comes out or it wastes.
Yeah, you don't want to put them on the deuce point. You have to step out.
Yep.
So,
and there we are.
Fast pass.
Yeah. I like that pass. I just think, it's like that battle where you're just trying to withstand the waves are crashing into you and you're just in the boat going, okay, I'm going to hold on. The waves are going to stop. Eventually this is going to turn around. You still have, it's still 10 away.
Yeah. So it's not like it's critical, of course, that he's behind 9-0, but there are still options.
We've both won this easily. We've actually stopped our opponents at congratulations on your 9 points. You lost the next 19.
Yeah.
So it's.
Yeah, that's the charm of the game. That suddenly it turns around and then you get a lot of points on your account. So.
Yeah. What do you think? Come in 1 hit, 1 down.
Came in on.
Got the 5 to play.
So if you go in on 5, you cannot really play any aces. And then you can play that one.
Yeah.
That could be right.
That seems okay.
It seems a bit loose to hit on the 3-point.
And then your 4-3.
Hit on in the outfield. Or do we have a double tiger?
Ooh, double tiger. We like the double tiger. So Michi Kageyama came up with the concept of hitting twice and having 2 checkers in board, which would have worked perfect. The 4-3 wouldn't have. The 4-3 would have missed, and you would have had your 5 slotted, which would have been a nice response. I feel like this is getting hit. Yes.
Yeah, that's why you would look for the awkward 6s.
You mean those?
Okay, those, yeah. I was not thinking about that many 6s.
Right.
But
I feel even though Nodar has all these checkers, he needs to make a move. This has to be a trivial take, and.
I like the cube. You are training 9-0. You want something to happen. So as soon as it smells a little of gammon, why not?
Right. The smell of gammon wafts through the air. Right. But as you can see right here, Elias has a good game. You know, I mean, he's not. These checkers are kind of disjointed. He doesn't have a point yet, but he's facing a three prime that he's at the edge of. So he's not one set of sixes, one set of things, and this game is back to being in Elias's favor.
5. So I think you need to anger up and then play to 10.
Yeah, that looks right.
And
then you hit. Yes, because he hasn't been missing. So 4, 6. And then maybe you can roll that 5-3 or something to try and see. I mean, the backgammon's so easy when you know this is how, when the dice are not going your way, just how you can contain people. 4-2. So
I think you step in on.
I think you come down with the 2.
I think I do it the other way around.
You want to?
Yeah, I want to maximize the contact and bring it in as a builder on the 9 point.
What about this 2-1? You hitting? I think. You know, I mean, I don't want to.
No, you don't want to give up anything.
So 5-2.
I think I would probably slot here.
Yeah.
I want to activate those checkers.
Right. You have a heavy stack. You can't just let him go away. Oh, fun.
That's
and then you have the 6-3. So.
Can you hit here?
You can, but I feel like.
You probably have to, because you need to take out the the pace a little.
Right.
Oh, double tiger.
Yeah, this is a double tiger. You have to. Yeah, this has to be double tiger, because if he just flunks a little bit, you're back in this game.
Yeah.
Even this is not.
It's not too bad.
Yeah. Unless of course you're gonna roll a 6-5, and then.
What do you play here?
You hit.
Yeah.
You hit from there. That part, I think, is.
And then just don't care about the 2 blots on the board.
Right. You don't. I mean, because how are you covering? You know, the only one you can cover is the 2 point. You really want to cover the 4 point. Maybe if he misses, which he hasn't been doing all match, but if he does.
He did.
No, he didn't. 2-6. I guess the 6 is out.
But it's not a disaster in that sense. I mean, if he comes in with a deuce now, then it all looks good again for him.
Yeah. Yeah, now he's made the 4 prime in front. He's got 1 checker trapped behind it. Yeah,
it is.
And here we are. And so, yeah, Nodar has to be happy about his game right now, even though his race isn't quite the best.
Oh, that's a good 5.
There's a good 5. The 4, however, could use some work.
Yeah.
I guess you're slotting the 4 point.
Yeah. It's a really nice point to make, because now he has, a point to jump out on with the last checker.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is just
I'm not sure about that one. I think this move went a bit too fast. I mean, he should have at least counted the race, because if he's behind in the race, then you would rather keep the contact. Now it's easier for Elias to play those checkers in, not with double 5.
No. But you look at how nice this board is. So, I mean, look at he's I don't give up the mid. I think I make the ace, just because I want that contact too.
I think it's good to make an 8 actually, because you have the 17 point, so it's not so fatal to give up the 13 point as if you didn't have it, and you keep the checkers in front of
in play, right?
Yeah.
You don't want. I mean, those checkers could be used to hit that guy when he finally breaks off the point.
Plus, you don't make a 7. You don't make the 7th point.
Right.
Which is inflexible.
Right, very inflexible, which is kind of what's going on right here, is we're seeing this.
Double 2.
That's interesting. This may argue for this kind of containment.
I kind of like that one better.
It seems like you can play off it a little more, and when you breaks, you probably get double shots back.
It's also harder for the checker to escape.
Right.
There's more blocking power.
Exactly, like the seminar.
Yeah.
Carsten Bradel, patent pending. Yeah, it was a great lecture that he gave.
Yeah, it was really good.
So it took for a second for people to kind of get the concept.
Yeah.
No, you need to count. It's not that easy to roll the 1-6, even though people seem to joker it all the time. So you really want to
Okay, Sten has 1 minute to bring in new commentators because we have to play.
Oh, did they call out the Super Jack?
We can keep an eye. Are you playing Super Jack?
I'm not Super Jack. I mean the Speed Gammon. I feel like we'll both be notified. And
Yeah.
If we get penalty pointed out, we'll.
I'll throw the mic.
We wouldn't, of course, damage the equipment here because we have too much respect for our hosts, but we would definitely slag off on Sten Grumbeck. So, I feel like he's protected us so far. I think we're good.
Yeah, it's a tough double too, actually. He could also have played something in between, played to 11.
Right,
Because now it's harder for him to play his checkers. Now he has the 7 points.
Yeah, but things like this 6-2 now. Well, I guess he slotted, so. Yeah, but you really kind of like him behind that 5.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, he saw the hit as an option.
He's got a hit. He's got a hit. I'm not saying he's got to hit. He's got a hit.
Yeah.
So I think I like this a little better.
Yeah, me too.
You don't want to give up all you've done.
That's a good roll.
Yeah.
Now they have 7 points each. It's very unusual.
Oh, look at this 3-2. That's a great 3-2. It's a great 3. A 2's lacking a little. So do you give him the shot, or do you... I mean, you can't duplicate, right? So he's got 4s and what? He'll have 3s or 5s to hit?
I think I would play this one.
Yeah.
Then you get more return shots, like 3-1, 3-2. 2-1.
That's the problem with these.
3-1. He could consider. He has to hit up there.
No, he's not hitting. You don't want to break that prime.
Then
you
that
going,
way, yeah. Yeah.
This could not surprise us at all.
But is it a hit?
Doesn't do that much is the problem. So
6-3 is mandatory. You can start by playing that one, I think.
Right. You know that you're going to have to play another 2.
Yeah.
So that's got to be your 3 has to kind of go to from 6-3.
I think this is a good move. You want now. He puts a lot of pressure on those blots.
Yeah, he has to clean them up fairly fast.
Yes. So we have the tournament director Sten Grumbeck. He will take over, commentate. He will do have a monologue.
Do we play each other? Should we do it here? All right, we're out. Okay, wait. I kind of want to see this 1-5. Can we go? Okay. Back soon. Excuse me. I was in the finals last year of the Speed. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, we will see you later.
So it looks like Elias is killing Nodar in this one. Let's see. 2-1 and a hit, of course. Three, 4, enter and slot the 2 point. That's also clear. You cannot leave more shots. That's obvious. 5-4. Another point. Double 2. The key here is not to destroy your board and not kill your checkers, so you still want to make a great home board, build all your 6 points, and then be ready to hit a shot if you're lucky to get it. 4-1. Now he has a 5-point board and are hoping for the fly shots. Double 4, another great number by Nodar. So basically this will turn into a 3-point game where we'll see that Elias will probably only win if he hits a shot. But there always is a chance that you leave a shot in these kinds of games. 4, that was not the one he wanted. He don't want to see the 4s anymore. And that is a good point to clear, so now he's home free. A big double. Maybe Elias can still catch up in the race. but he still has one big double to go. So it just looks like a racing game now where Nodar is the big favorite to go to 9-2 and finally get a point. Not much interesting to say about this. I can say that Nodar is also right now quite high on the new world ranking list. So if he wins this tournament, he will actually climb up quite a bit and be a clear number 1 on that ranking list. Right now, that ranking list can only be seen on the Facebook group World Ranking List. You can go and have a look at that one. Guess it's called World Ranking Backgammon. So 9-2 and ready for next game. Again, Elias makes a point in 5-3 and 3-1 to Nodar, making also another great point. Elias is now in doubt if he should run or he should take one down, and I would say it's quite close. Nodar runs, makes double 2 and make another clear play. It's always strong to make those 3 points. Clear the shot. Nodar is now fighting to make the bar point and Elias is fighting to escape the last checker. Nodar makes the 4 point. So not much to discuss about these moves. So that's also fine, don't leave any shots. You'll probably move this one to the 8 point and only leave 6-4. That is also duplicated on your own side to make the bar point. So that must be a clear move. 3-2. Guess you would play 2. Yeah, that's also okay. You could also have been leaving 6-2, 6-4. No doubt about that one, you hit. It's a great hit, so unless Nodar will hit back, he will make an anchor, so now you have a holding game with one checker stock back on the ace point. 5-3, you will make the 11 point and you will go to the 8. So now it's basically a matter of can Elias make sure he doesn't get hit? Can Nodar catch up in the race? Make the bar point. So Nodar now needs a 4 before he starts moving the checkers on the 20 point. Catching up a little bit in the race. I would say they play quite fast in the game. Now we have a 6-4, only leaving the double 4 and 5-3 number shot. 5-3, that's a hit. Great hit by Nodar. So now you will see the cube. I would say Nodar should cube now, no doubt about it. With 6 checkers, red checkers in the outfield, there's always the chance to win some gammon. Normally I say it's about 5% per checkers in the outfield, so if he managed to close the board without red moving anything, there will be like 30% gammon in the position. So it's a double, and I would actually say I would pass it when I'm this much ahead. I would probably also pass it at an even score. No double. Wow. Now he plays too good. It could actually be it's too good. I don't think so, but I think the gammon was not big enough, but who knows? Now it's definitely too good. The question is, do you want to leave the 2-1 and 1-1? Or do you just move in? I think I would, yeah, exactly. I would play the same. But as long as red do not enter, you can justify playing too good here. So now it's a matter of just looking for the big doubles, double six, that you don't leave a shot, so that you move in a way so you have an even number of checkers on the last 2 points. Here you can see doubles in no roll will leave a shot. 5-1. 6-2. 6-5. Elias fans here, there's a good chance that he will get a shot. Of course the gammon is so big that Nodar needs just to roll and hope for the best. He can count the numbers, but unless he is hit, he will nearly for sure win a gammon. He will leave a shot. Double six, it's at least a good number when you don't hit to save the gammon. Double four, standard play. I would just play to the bar point, then you're sure to take off in 2 rolls. There's no, of course, except for 2-1, 2-1. Nodar would need a double that is not double 2 to save a roll. So this looked like it's over. Gammon saved and 9-3. I was a little worried that this match will take a little too long and we would not finish before the prize giving, but I can see at the pace they are playing, I mean they're really playing a fast game. Whoops. $5-3 for Nodar. $4-1. Typically when white has made a point, you split your back checkers. 3-2. You don't want to, you probably just play to the 8. When his back checkers are split, you don't want to leave all the fly shots, so this is a good play. 4-2, make a point. 5-2. Now you split. Here you split. You want to split those. I know there are 9 checkers in the zone, but still you want to split. I would actually double hit here. Yeah, go for the attack. 6-2, not the one you wanted. Take another roll. Double 3, another good roll. He can go to the ace point. He can make the 3 point. And how do you play this one? Good question. I actually... Could it be that you should hit on the 2 point here? Yeah, and attack. If it doesn't hit, roll an ace on 2. Looks like he's close to a double. The only thing keeping him, if the score was opposite, he would have doubled instantly here. But at leading 9-3, maybe he's a little more reluctant. But here, I mean, he fans. Now it's a question if it's too good. I think it's too good now. Now you can afford take. It's a clear pass. I think he should have taken a roll. He could play too good and went for a undoubled gammon. 10-3. I have played Elias a few times, and I know he is a very strong player from Norway, the Greek-Norwegian guy. So he is in the ranking list and in the European federation in the team championship. He is playing for Norway and have done so successfully and winning a lot of matches for them. And Norway is actually the defending champion, European champion for the teams. Won in Iceland in October with Elias on the team, so that was a great victory for Norway. So a fan here, and you will see the cube. Still, Elias have no development at all. Nodar is up against the 3-point board, but Elias has the 4-point board. Nodar has. Elias has the 3-point, so he decided to take the cube. Not be too worried about it. He is behind in the race, so he will need something. Nodar can play quite freely. Not hitting anything, 2 down from the midpoint. Now he's preparing a prime, so he's ready if there should be a shot later on. But Elias has an okay game. I mean, he's just waiting now to see if a shot comes by, and then he will be ready to hit it. Nodar is now looking at the race. What is the race here? 4 and 12, there's 16. He is definitely ahead by quite a bit. He will make the bar point. Another point to land on. So 5-1, preparing to make more points. 5-2, play it safe, I would say. Maybe you could consider playing 1 down, because I mean, even if you are hit, there are bloods flying around, and Elias is in gammon danger. So even if he rolls the 6-2, he will probably not even hit. So why not go for the flexible move? 6-3. Now it's a little more dangerous, you can say. But that's also, it's ugly to bury the checkers always. Elias is now ready if a shot comes. But again, another one to the 2-point, and the structure from Nodar starts looking a bit ugly, but he has no chance to do anything else. He doesn't want to leave a shot for free. Now he needs to move 2 down. We will give 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers, but there is a return shot on the other side that is kind of gammonish if he hits it. So I think Nodar needs to make that move. It will cost on 8 numbers, but now you have the chance to clear them, and the other one playing to the 2-point is just too ugly. So this is clear. You cannot play to the 2-point here. That will... Next time, Elias will just make the 2-point and be even more ready to... That is wrong. That cannot be right. He would have hit, so but that now he can of course hope to roll, as he did, a great number. I think here you actually are clearing that point. Yes, exactly. Because you're 7 away, so next time you will only leave an indirect shot. Elias still preparing to get a lucky shot. No way. So now it's just a matter of clearing the 4, 5 and 6 point and not leaving a shot. Play it safely, and then it will probably end out in 2 more points for Nodar, going to 5-10. This is a good move. Here you need to see that even if you play the 6 and the 2s, you can play from the 2 points, so you're not too afraid of leaving a shot here. Now the question, do you run? With the blood on the ace, I would just run now. Nodar will not hit on something that will also leave a shot. 5-1, playing from behind. He will not, either you take 1 off, or I would actually just move to the 4 point. Again, making sure that double 6 and double 5 are your best number and not your worst. Now Elias has to run and go for the race. So he is in a race where he still, despite of the double six, is way behind. So it looks like the break helped Nodar. He's catching up. Had a break at 0.8. Now it's 5.10. So he's been catching up a little bit in this quite fast-paced play they have. It is two very experienced players, but I think they really, I mean, when you think that it's a big semi-final at a big tournament, I think they are really playing fast. And as expected, Nodar will, unless something very sick happens, just win. It's over. It's a gin. So, 10-5. Nodar behind, so he slots. I like that. Always when behind or even at even score, I like slotting. But Elias makes a double 4. That is a great reply to that one. And right away he had the upper hand. Nodar will make the 11 point and work as a blocking point for the 20 point. Double 1. Elias, he's going strong here. He should hit. I would. It's a good question if you hit loosely because you have the better board or if you just switch. I think that is the right solution. You don't leave any shots. You are ahead in the race and you are blocking. You definitely need to hit. That one is the alternative. I would play this one. You have many builders in place. You are ready to prime. Looks like that worked out. So Elias is now considering, should I cube? He needs to make the 5 point here. It's a very strong prime he is building, so don't think about if he rolls a 6, he will make the point, but you need that 5 point. You don't want to make anything else that's just too strong to make the 5 point here. To not make the 5 point, I should say. 6-1, he gets his anchor and he not too afraid to get hit. He's behind in the race, so if he's hit, he will accept it, but then he will probably enter and make another anchor in the home board. So, yes, now he has a choice what anchor to make, if he wants to make the 2 point or the ace point. I actually like here making the 2 point. Why is that? That's a bit hard to explain, but I like the contact with the 8 point especially, and you have one hole there, and if you want to drop checkers behind the 2 point, it's always bad, but the 2 point is just better than the ace point. So I would make the 2 point here, but what else? You can play this one and then I think that is a bit too big. Why do that? That I would not play. Double 5. I think just clearing. Yeah, go around. If he wants to hit, it will cost him the bar point, and there will be many return shots. If he doesn't hit, he can start thinking about the cube. You will slot. Maybe move another one down. You can start considering the cube now. You're not getting too far away. 2 down. 1 more down. Why leave a shot? There's no reason to do it. So it's just to the 10. I don't like that play. Why not just play to the 10 with the 3, having another landing point? That's. Now he moves up, but this time I'm not sure that it's as good. You would rather have been at the 2 point here. Still he's going forward. Elias is considering the cube, and he is favorite, so it's correct to consider it. I mean, you're a clear favorite, you always need to look at the cube. Still, he is leaving that shot and say, okay, if I'm hit, it's okay. I would have played these plays a little different. Now Nodar is kind of back in the game. This roll decides a lot. 1-5, not a great roll. So now Elias has the choice, do you want to hit here, leaving a lot of return shots, or do you play to the ace point? He plays the quiet one to the ace, and it's a little 2-1, save a plot, and move. Not to 9. Why that one? I would actually move the other one. It's 6-3 or 6-4. Step up, yes. You would rather have had the one on the 10 point now, having 3 builders for that point. So here you will make the 11 point and slot the 3 point. But what is Elias thinking? Because he has definitely has the greater board, can attack on good numbers and win a gammon. I would make the 11 point and slot the 3 point. I don't. You could of course also hit, but you really have a 2 point board against a 4 point board. So that kind of says that you need to play a little safe and not throw around too many blots. If he hits on the 4 point, he has 15 hitters from the bar, and then he can also consider hitting on something like 3-6, 3-5, and the other ones that he will do. 4-1. Great hit. He needs to give up something with the 4, but Nodar really is under pressure. He can hit return hit here, but again, there are many return shots, and you are outboarded by 4-2. So I wouldn't hit, to be honest. I would not hit here. This is also my play. Whoopsie. 3-1. You play to the 5 point. I didn't see that one. That's actually, I would play that one. I like that one. By this. One. Again, Nodar is under constant pressure. Should I hit and leave more shots, or should I play safe? Outboarded. He again wisely chooses not to hit. 2-2. Now we can again make the 9 point and build a 5 point, or you can run. And then he needs to clear the midpoint. There's no reason not to clear the midpoint here. That's the alternative. I also like that one. The downside to this one is, of course, it leaves more shots. This one, I guess I would play this one. I would play this one and not the other one. Now I have a little company here, if you want to join. It's Elias. So you're, right, for now I'm by myself. Mikael Larsen and Carter had to play in the speed tournament. Now, you can use this one if you want. It's up to you. You can also use this one. Oh, too bad. And you press it to switch it on. Hold it for a little while. Yes, and now you can talk and... I think it's okay. Yep. Yeah, and it in the beginning, Elias has more or less crossed Nodar, being ahead 8-0. But after the break at 8-0, Nodar has been catching up a little bit. They play quite fast, considering it's a semi-final at a big tournament. Elias is left-handed fan, and Nodar is now trying to contain that last checker. He will, here I would actually argue that he should make the 2-point. Make another point in the board. I don't know if the alternative could of course be to, I don't know. I would not play that one, that's for sure. That is wrong. This, I like, yeah, it is, but I in this one, I don't see, what would the alternative be, leaving from the bar point, or, yeah. This one is also quite solid, I mean, and you're ready to make a 5-point board. Now Nodar is looking, being behind. That was no hit. That could be. That is also an option, or playing the quiet one, leaving no shots. But you are behind in the race, so I mean, it's you want that contact in this position. So I think I'm in doubt. What is the right one here? If he plays that one, he would like to make the point, and then hope that Elias is not rolling the ace. Then there are some numbers that need shots. 6-2. Oh no, we can leave an indirect one. Yeah. And there also on some of them you have return shots. Like if you hit some 1-5 at least, you have the choice to leave some return shots or dumping one on the ace point. That would be wrong. But the other aces are quite good. Elias is now considering the cube. I think that is a little early, isn't it?
I guess. Change to the other mic?
Yeah, please.
That's too bad.
So is the sound?
Yes, sure. Yep, testing sound. Is that okay?
Can you hear?
Okay.
We're just testing the sound of the other microphone.
I'm thinking of something to say.
Yeah. Basically, this turns into a kind of a race with a little contact. It's always interesting to see. So basically, Nodar do not want to break his board now.
No.
So if this is the 4, you don't want to break. You need just to go for the contact, and you have a little duplication on the 5s. I'm a little surprised I didn't see the roll when he ended up with 3. Was that 1? What was that?
4,
3, 5?
3, 4. This is a 3, 4.
Yeah, but the roll before?
The roll before 3.
3, 5. It must have been.
Yeah, 3, 5, and he did dump a checker to the ace.
But also, the alternative was to leave a direct shot that is also very expensive. So
sure.
It's the
I
case
think that's
where
correct.
Where you accept you need to accept an ugly position.
Exactly. If the opponent has a monster board like this, safety should be your prime concern.
Now he cubes.
Now he cubes because now there's more volatility because of the blotting board. Nodar takes a picture.
I think this is a take. With the 5 point. What is the race? It's
the race. What do you count? 40, 65. 120.
Took also instant. So there's a shot already. There are many shot-giving numbers here.
Great take, I would say. Gutsy.
Yeah.
Gutsy take.
If you, it's actually the take where if you use a little time on it, you do the counting. How many will leave a shot? Right? How many will leave an indirect shot? How much contact is there with the 11 point? What is that worth? And what is the race? Can you actually win a race here?
I see.
So there are several ways of winning this game. But here he needs to hit I would say. Because you can also win. Red can win a gammon here also. So you need to leave a shot anyway.
Yes.
So I think the hit and then to the 14 point.
Okay.
That would be my play intuitively.
Okay. If we were a double consultation team, I would go with your suggestion. Yeah, sure,
What would the
because
alternative be?
there is no safe alternative, so why not attack? There is a safe fish. In the short term, it looks safe, but it's probably...
For me, that is too ugly. I would accept the 13. Also, I mean, if it's of course unlikely, but you also need to consider if you manage to close out white without white moving here, how much gammon would this position have? And I would say it has something like 40% gammon in the position if you close out white without white moving.
No, much more.
It's much more?
Yes. The 3 checkers on the bar point over there need 36 pips to come into the board. So 36 times 2 is already 72 plus 5. I would say it's 80% gammons.
80%?
Yes.
I think that's high.
If you close out white.
Wow. Now maybe I'm learning something here.
Yes, you are learning something. I'm quite convinced. You need to count the number of pips that the stragglers need to come into the board, which is 3 times 12. 36. You duplicate by 2 is 72 plus 5. So about 75, between 75 and 80% gammons if you close him out.
So normally that is a new formula to me.
No, is that new to you?
Yeah, so you say you take the number of pips to go into the board by the one that are not on the bar, and now we're talking about 1 checker on the bar and a closed board.
Exactly.
Good distribution, I assume, with the builders.
Yes.
And then you say you count the number of pips and multiply by 2, and that gives a percentage.
Exactly.
Wow.
So if white is closed out and there are 2 checkers on the midpoint, the 2 checkers on the midpoint need 14 pips to come into the board.
Yeah.
14 times 2 is 28, plus 5, about 33% gammons.
So the pip count to go to the 6 point,
times
the
2.
remaining checkers times 2. And of course, I mean, if you have many just in your own outfield, I think that's, I mean, if it's short crossovers, then it
doesn't matter.
Okay. So you would say
in my mind it doesn't matter.
You have four checkers, for instance, on the 7 and 8 point.
Yes.
That's actually 6
pips.
Plus 5, it's 11.
Yeah, I would count it like this. Yes.
Yeah, I think that would be a little on the low side.
Yeah, because you may have to use. That's how I would count it. I would count 6 times 2 is 12 plus the 5 is 17.
It's a very nice and easy formula to use if you want to evaluate the gammon percentage if you do a closeout.
Yes. And I think it's pretty reliable, unless I have something of a brain fart here and I'm saying something which is completely stupid, which could be after 4 days of intensive play. But this is the formula I use, and I think it's very robust.
But it has one good criteria that I like. It's an easy formula.
Exactly.
It's easy to use over the board, and I like these formulas, so definitely I want to use that one later on.
Sure.
We're actually just trying to put up at XG just to check it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is right. In the meantime, I don't know what's going on the board.
Nodar is rolling. I think it's Nodar who have a 5-3 and he cannot leave with the back one, and he is seeing, okay, I cannot leave more shots, so I think he do the right play here. Elias is rolling 6-4. He needs to play it safely, not leave a shot. But still, I mean, Nodar have the contact here. He's behind in the race, clearly. So, 4-3.
Wow.
I think you need to step out with the 4. And then what do you do with the 3? That is not clear to me.
I would play 5-2.
5-2 because of the gammon.
Yes. I've learned when you are down in the race, there's no use jumping out and giving extra
shots.
It gains on what? On 6-2 maybe? On 6-3?
And some of the numbers where he needs to destroy his board, but you of course lose a lot on the aces. So you like 6-1, you're really losing a lot. So I think he just needs to hope for that 4 away holding game.
So you see here with 2 black checkers on the mid.
Yeah, you have 7, so that is 14. That's 28. That should be 33. Now we have that's
No. Twice 7 is 14.
Yeah.
Yes. It should be 33, and it's only 26.
So it's not completely, but is that because it's short? No. The short crossover is probably a little better.
Maybe it's because white can afford to cross over.
Right now we are checking the formula with for the gammon.
Yeah.
What happens if you just spread them out on 2 different points? So,
but still, I'm a bit surprised that it's like 10% off. Maybe I said something which is no. Okay, I'll have to come back to you later.
Yeah,
with an updated version of my.
We will get an updated
gammon
version.
Counting technique.
Yes, we'll get an updated version of the gammon estimation formula. So red is destroying his board to avoid leaving a shot here, and white is trying to keep his board, so that's kind of a struggle. At some point red will either have a lucky clearing number or he will need to leave a shot. So
in the meantime, Nodar has managed to restore his board and strengthen it.
I like that play.
Suddenly he's got a 5-point board again. And there's the shot. Yes, you minimize shots, I guess.
No doubt
of
about
course. 12 shots. There's the hit. Wow. And in case of a dance, it's a recube.
Yeah, and it will probably be a pass, I would say. In case of a dance.
Yes. For the moment now, double 5 clears the board. So I would keep my outside checkers spread out exactly as they are to have a double 5 which closes the board. I'm not sure about this last ace. Okay, but anyway. Wow. Okay, thanks. Wow. Oh, yeah, dropping it here, sure.
If you're in doubt in this kind of position, I had a formula to calculate this one also when you had an open 4, 5 or 6 point, but I have to admit it was one I made myself, a little intimistic. Now they're on break. I can try to see if I can find it and put it up on. We can put it up on the screen, but I had a formula, but I don't remember it. That's the thing. That's actually the thing with formulas. If you have a good formula and you forget it, if you then use it because you think you can remember it, you tend to make quite big mistakes. So what I'm saying to people is that you always need to use your own intuition. Whatever intuition, to see what is right and what is wrong, because sometimes your formula, if you do it wrong, you go way off.
Yes.
So you need to think yourself and see, okay, what does this look like? What is the race? Here it's kind of, as you know, with the old Kleinman theory, you have a race with a lot of weights on one side, and you have some hyper pips you waste when you don't enter.
Right.
So it's not an easy one to count.
No.
Unless you have some kind of reference position, rule of thumb kind of thing.
Yes.
The parameters is of course how many pips do white have to win.
Yes.
How many builders do white have to make the point?
Yes, of course. How strong is
red's board?
Yes.
On the other side.
Because in these kinds of positions, a lot of equity also for the person on the board comes from contact.
Yeah.
Or hitting equity. Yeah. Because if you have a strong board or a 6 prime yourself, if you hit a fly shot, it's winning.
Yeah.
Here, if red wins a fly shot, let's say with 6-5,
there is an immediate shot.
Right, it's not winning at all.
But right now the players are on break. The second break of the match. The first one, Elias was ahead 8-0. Now it's 10-7, much more even.
Nice score, 9 away, 12 away.
Yeah.
So we might be in for an exciting semi-final.
Yeah, it could be.
And the camera is switching to the other board where my friend Mark Van Dam is playing.
Maybe we can switch the other camera so we can.
That would be great.
See that one while we have the break. So we're just trying.
but I would have had no clue, and
So
I would have dropped.
Now we're going back again, and it looks like that's the Elias match we are at now against Nodar.
Okay.
Let's have a look and see that it looks like Elias have the break helped Elias.
Yes.
Maybe. Now he is way ahead again, 14-7.
Yes. But with a tricky score, in 5 away, 12 away, Red needs to be pretty good. Has to have quite high winning chances. So shouldn't ship the cube too early, because if the recube comes to 4, your gammons lose all their value, and you have no recube vig yourself. So it's tricky. When I'm 5 away, a lot away, I'm always a bit weary.
Yeah, and it just gets worse the more points you get, you can say.
Although this is not, this is a pleasant situation for Elias, because it's a non-gammonish thing, and it's a pure holding game with a race advantage, I would say.
What you like.
Yeah.
Play. These are the kind of games you like when you're way ahead.
Right.
Standard holding games, not too much gammon, keep the volatility down.
Sure. Like this here, he has about a 20 pip race advantage. 129 for white, 105 and 110.
A good double.
Yeah.
At least at an even score.
But here too.
Yeah.
This is a good double. This is a great double, even at the score.
But now he gets a better position, I would say.
Yeah.
Now he can again. He gained 10.
No, he lost some pips here. He was 19 pips ahead and lost a bit. So I think now he's happy he waited. Yeah, he's waiting. Good. Okay.
One landing point less.
Yep.
Also means something in the. Now you makes the one ace point.
Good. Keeping contact on the midpoint.
Double 3.
That's a market
monster.
loser.
Yeah.
If Nodar doesn't reply with something huge.
Now he cubes. I no doubt about it.
46,
now he cubes and it's a pass.
88, 97, 61, 70. Yes, it's a huge pass.
It's a huge pass.
Huge pass. Okay.
So now we go to 4 away.
Yeah. 12 away. Difficult.
Yeah. That's also an interesting score, because sometimes if you yourself have a good chance to win a gammon, you really want to win that doubled gammon. The gammon value on the 2 cube goes up here significantly.
Because it gives you the match.
But on the other hand, if it's a position with contact, it's a 2-edged sword, you can say.
Yes.
Because very fast the cubes come back on 4.
Yes. And then your gammons are worthless.
And on the other hand, the gammons the other way are just
inflate. Worth more. Yes. Okay. 4-2.
Double 4. He is always.
Oh, yeah.
He's always. I mean, what I've seen here is he is really getting the traction early in the game. I mean, and Nodar is kind of running behind.
Yes. That's what the score reflects.
Another point, a great number. I like that play.
Sure.
Many
the bar
would anchor because they are too afraid. Here you have to hit. You have your insurance on the other side.
Okay.
Double 4, not the best, but I think now you need. Do you make points or do you just give up? I don't know. That play I was not sure about.
It looks good to me, because you don't want to give up your midpoint, I think, with 2 stragglers.
I think here you make the point, the 4 point. Or you make the 3 point and hit.
5-4.
You play that one I like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I like that move.
Sure.
If
White
Nodar
has
doesn't reply here and there's a blot on the other side, this one is not that good.
Wow, here, do you jump out? Yeah, Nodar plays this all so quickly and so confidently. I would take minutes and then make the wrong move. You know?
What here? The 4? You can play the flexible one because there are blots on the other side.
Yes.
So I think it makes sense to pay off with a few numbers more, but if it goes well, now Elias really have a strong position here.
Yes. But is this... Can you double this as red? I would have a hard time.
Yeah, I agree. At the score.
Yes, at the score, because you still have to distract or extract those two checkers on the 20 point. 6-3, double 3 works.
All the doubles that are running from behind.
Yes, the doubles work. Yeah, 2-1, 6-1, 6-2. Hard.
No matter what, you have the strong position, right? And Nodar is stripped, so he needs to play something and maybe leave shots. So it's not something that he will have to take this one, I would say. I would not pass it, but it can go wrong. It can end the match here.
Yes, but are we sure that Nodar would take this?
That's also a question.
Does he have? I mean, does he have counter-attacking chances? He has a dead checker on the 4 point, stripped in the outfield, 6 point stripped. So what are his counter-attacking chances? Should he get a shot?
This would. I mean, you can also look at it in a different way. In money game, I would pass it.
Yes, sure.
So
I agree.
far less than the 22% or something like that. I don't know what is the percentages here for at least for the win. How much percent does Nodar have in a pure DMP evaluation?
There's the
He
cube.
doubled, and it's a take.
Took. I'm not sure.
Double 3.
There's
is a
the
must
3.
So that's a great number.
Could also make the deuce.
I think you make the bar
The
point.
prime. The prime is
Because
better.
that is simply so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Here now no, he can play much more freely.
Yes.
Especially if he rolls an ace. But anyway, he doesn't even need that one.
Uh-huh.
I think you go away from the 1-6 you don't want here, right?
I don't know.
Is there a reason to give the 1-6 here? Even if
I
you
think.
but you have no. Yeah, of course it gives you some more cover numbers to the 2 point.
3-1. When can you afford to run off your anchor here? I would at least contemplate.
But maybe even you slot the 2 point here. Maybe you slot it and then move to the bar point with the ace, so you have 2, because you're not too afraid of that ace, especially with 1 pot and you have the anchor. The alternative is to just go to the 4 point. You get a little front loaded, right? What would you do?
What would I do?
I think my play would be to leave that one, because you can really win some gammons on the aces. Also, I mean, it's of course you don't want to get hit.
I would not slot, to be honest.
I like that
because I don't see why it's necessary.
I like that play.
I think slotting is nice when you're like in trouble and when you are in danger of being counter-primed and you want to make a prime first.
I like it.
Okay, good. I'm not contesting it at all.
Now
That leaves a shot. That leaves a shot. So a gammon would win.
5.
It
can be over quite fast, this one.
Oh, but Elias
hits.
is a 4-way. Yes. Yeah. Okay, the match could be over in this game.
I would just play to the midpoint.
Nodar is looking a bit resigned.
Yeah, he needs to 2-5.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. It looks pretty hopeless. It's hopeless.
Trouble.
The only thing he can hope for, I guess, is to save the
Double
gammon.
aces.
Yeah, wow. Right,
Yes,
good. And one in.
Yeah. Oh, he missed. Now he played 4. That's 5-1, and now he can cover.
Wow.
You will cover with the 5.
Good question.
Yeah, you will. You don't want him to get that angle, so why not?
Yeah.
He needs to get in and out with 4 checkers. That's destroyed board. You just in this one I would just cover and put the builders in place. Not worry too much about the 1-6. If it happens, you're still huge favorite. You are going for the gammon now. You want to hit the other checkers and basically have Nodar not entering.
Yes, I agree. Yes. It would also be my play after.
This one, and then you can consider what to play with the rest. I think I would just go all the way with the one from behind. To the 9 point.
Okay. Well, why not 14 to
I would not play that
9?
one.
Ah, like this.
That's.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I can only say I don't like it because there's a chance you leave a shot later on.
Mm-hmm.
But again,
Mm-hmm.
Elias has a very, very strong position now, and it will probably not take. He is clear favorite to win a gammon in this one.
Yes.
Now you just get the coverage of the 18 point, I think, or the 7 point. Yes, in case he rolls that 1-6, you want to hit it.
Maximum.
Yeah.
Yep. In case he rolls his best roll 1-6, you want maximum coverage.
Yeah.
Oh, it was almost there.
Just bearing in and looking out for the big doubles, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit. Not that they matter that much.
No. I think.
Maybe just play to the 10 point with the last one.
Yeah.
All doubles play well. Double
Yep.
6, double 5, yes. Double 4 also. No.
Normally, when bearing in against an ace point anchor, you want to strip your 6 point as quickly as
Yeah,
possible.
and he
I
should
would
do that
consider
now.
playing 6-4 now.
Yes, I would play 6-4.
6-4 is best.
That would be to the 5 and to the 4 point.
Yeah.
Because you always have that option to clear it early.
Sure.
Without getting too many gaps.
But here there's really nothing much at stake because the gap, Nodar's board is in shatters.
Yeah. But it's a thematic play,
Yep.
you can say.
I
would
agree.
say.
See, I wouldn't play the 4 to the 6 here. That's good. That's a good one.
And then play in. And
Yes.
you're ready to clear.
No, that's not. I don't like this.
No.
This is normally not good.
Because something you can get, like something like this, you
Yeah.
start to
Right.
piling up your checkers.
Yep.
You would rather have.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
It doesn't really matter in this game, but
Just clearing.
yeah.
The gammon is so big here, and now it's safety is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Next, the 4 point or the 4 point board. 6-1. Here's another point.
Okay.
This is a matter if Elias is not leaving a shot, he will probably win the gammon and the match. And
Yes.
be in the final.
Yep.
So it looks like Norway is in general doing quite well, winning also the European Championship for teams
Yes.
last in October.
Yep.
And,
Mm-hmm. They are putting
now he
themselves
is
on the map.
One in the final.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
They have also a very strong backgammon community around Oslo in Norway. So
Mm-hmm. It's like their best player isn't even here.
yeah,
What's in Tora Fredriksson? Mhm. But Darkfin is still in the Conso tournament. Is in the semi-final now. Darkfin Snarheim. 5-3. Is that Elias who rolled the 5-3?
I think
No,
it's
it's
not
Nodar.
Elias
Nodar.
because it's forced moves.
Yeah. Sure. He wouldn't ponder this.
Probably have been moved already.
But it like a 5-3 would have left a double shot.
yeah, now he is free of double shots.
Uh-huh.
Nodar is just.
Wouldn't I think I would slot a
I would
point in
also,
board.
I mean, now you go for the Group Classic, right?
Yes.
You slot here. You slot the bar point, right? I know it's
D6.
far-fetched, but you should do this. Yes, I like that play.
Me too.
So you hope for an ace.
You hope for an ace. It can happen. Both players have a bit of a smile on their faces.
Now the only chance is to hit and save the gammon.
He doesn't.
It's game over.
It's over.
Congratulations to Elias,
Definitely.
the first finalist of Gibraltar Open 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So let's switch to the other match if we can do that. And see the ending of that one.
Yes.
And the final will be on at 3 o'clock.
flight. Take on the winds tonight as our bursting garden shoots intertwine. The creature comforts when we're cold. The cocoon to curling cuddle folds. When the creatures cover up our shoulders enveloped, we almost forget to breathe. The stones lay in flower beds. You arranged and rearranged them to fit. With creative fingers green, like the perfect mother I'd ever seen. A creature comforts when we're cold. A cocoon to curling cuddle folds. And when the creatures cover up our shoulders